welcome everybody to Texas Showdown 25. I am Zero alongside Paradox. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, feeling good. Ready for some Guilty Gear Strive action. Been enjoying the venue, enjoying some taco bowls as well.
Taco bowls, right?
They're nice. They're so good. Everything's been going real smooth so far. Really excited for some Guilty Gear Strive. Going to see some Texas homies show up and show out. And, I mean, there's going to be some good stuff. We got Danny here in the bracket as well.
Danny the monstrosity on this Kai Keysk or whatever they want to play today. But, yeah, it's going to be quite the competition. Pool Block C is what we're looking at to kick things off here. And, yeah, we're just getting started for the weekend. A little late in the start. But, honestly, this is where everyone's finally traveled in. We're relaxed, unpacked, ready to go.
Absolutely.
And, see if Texas defends the turf this year, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one, especially, I mean, I think Danny's going to be one of the biggest contenders. It's really going to be everyone in Texas versus Danny at the end of the day.
Yeah. And, of course, in this block, we do have Marvello as well.
Yeah, Marvello's going to be
Floridian local out there trying to show up and show out here in some Guilty Gear Strive. Still hungry after the ARC World Tour last chance qualifiers.
Absolutely.
So definitely out there traveling. Honestly, it's pretty great to see so many folks, even right after that, still be hungry for Guilty Gear. Of course, Venom is out now. So folks at home playing that. I haven't had the time to sit down and play Venom yet. It's been like 3 days.
I'm excited to see. I want to see if there's anybody actually cooking on the Venom. I was actually playing against this Gold Lewis a little bit earlier today, so that's very exciting. I love their box. It reminds me of my old Lego boxes when I was a kid.
Oh, my gosh. It's just the big, giant plastic tub where you had all the parts in it. Yeah, no, I completely understand. Core memory unlocked and everything. Potemkin and Gold Lewis, yeah, both these characters are kind of blessed.
It's scary. We're in a big bodies world. We're just living in it. It is definitely going to be pretty scary. Looks like we're going straight into it. No button check needed.
Woo! Jumped into a pop buster goose and about.
All right, got to be careful on that pressure. White Wild Assault into the red RC. Going to open things up aggressively here for both players.
Jump back, keep it locked in on drones. That was interesting spacing on that White Wild Assault. I think there was a minor gap for Armored to sneak in a pop buster there. It just seemed like we weren't quite in block zone for as long as we thought.
That cross up in the corner, very scary as well. Character like Gold Lewis, you don't expect to be dispensing that much mix, but it'll catch you off guard if you're not ready for it.
Yeah. It's so scary to see this character mixing with these Behemoth Typhoons, especially with the security gauge. Get the pickup, but not quite the shatter. And honestly, better off for it, because one more sequence, you're killing Armored Death here.
Nice. Good little 2K. You are not quite dead, barely hanging on.
Probably didn't expect the hit to connect there and got the red RC. Could have been able to finish with the super, so trying to survive. The super comes through the Garuda. Banging round here for Goose in the boot.
Beautiful stuff from Goose. Closing it out with that super reversal, calling out the Garuda. I mean, the Garuda's so strong, and now that you have the cars back on the new Potemkin, it's so scary to deal with.
Oh my goodness, jump dust into Behemoth, get a little bit of extra hang time, and stop it. Gold Lewis should have that much sauce.
Very true. Well, aerial confirm backdash is not going to work out for you this time, and just like that, you got a mountain of HP to climb. Nearly a perfect here for Goose.
2S gonna have to hold this and low on health. What a Behemoth off the blue drift.
A little Rocket Wild Assault. The RC forward, gonna keep this pressure going. See if we can get some of those Karas, but once again, you had so much HP you had to get through, and I always say Potemkin players, they have unshakable mental because you're only ever one Potemkin buster away from being an even game, you know?
So true, and honestly a great gamble from Goosen in that corner, and great call out on this burst. Goosen about going to take substantial advantage of that. Oh, wait.
Oh, the drone actually going off the wrong way. Going to go hang out with Mini Faust off screen for a little bit.
There we go, overhead, bless the dome, and one more to finish the job. Armored Death goes down.
Love seeing some of the classic, the 2 Ps to buffer those behemoths behind them.
All right, right back to character select for a Gold Lewis Potemkin pick. What's it going to be? Wrong color? Was that? Oh, okay, we got the actual character select maybe.
There we go. Maybe mixing it up into the Nago. Another big body. Still very solid. Nago's fallen off a little bit in recent year, but, has always been around, always had people like Test Your Luck cooking constantly.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see this new era of Nagoriyuki. So much chip damage on the table in its current state, and I think that's going to be a big factor potentially here. But I think also is the fact that we can just clone into the effective range against Goose in the move. But you're also in an effective range for Goose on this Gold Lewis here with Behemoth. Left, right, if you're not blocking, Goose is still going to run the set.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you're looking at a hard matchup, you can always just be like, hey, you know what? I win on offense. If I never leave offense, I don't have to actually deal with what character you're playing. And Nago might be the character to let that happen. But look at the fake Behemoth Typhoon.
Look, I fell for that too. I thought you could press Goose, or Armor Death. I thought you could press.
Who would have thought? There's no recovery frames in this game. It's fine.
All right, got the stomps, okay?
Oh, no. Got the command grab on accident there. Once again, going for that whiff VT. Nice 6B to get out of the corner.
Watch it. That's a rage. Big opportunity to catch up. Didn't get the drift that we wanted.
Yep. Does have an opportunity still, now out of the blood pop state. Does find a close slash.
Big, not going to kill.
Actually, lowest damaging Nago combo.
You see it here first. Second showdown 25.
We're spending a lot of blood. Finds the throw and does get on the board here. Nicely done, taking the round.
Yeah, that was such an interesting gamble to go for the guard cancel when you were already kind of established as I'm being pretty dominant in neutral.
Yeah.
You could have saved that meter for the next round here, and now you're looking worse for wear. Armor controlling the airspace, not quite going to shatter yet, but one step away.
Nago JK, very, very scary. The gun's coming out and say, listen, I spent my whole security gauge on this thing. We are running up for a throw afterwards as well.
Ooh, not connected with the Behemoth. The second one will. Expecting a burst. Those are unfortunate, right? When you go for the burst bait, you don't commit to your combo route regardless. I need you to show me you're going to use it. I don't want to miss opportunity. But, not quite the shatter. I don't know if we could have reached the 2K into a cancel Behemoth. JT.
Had to spend that security gauge as well to keep the pressure going. This is a scary situation. The blood pop here into the burst, actually. You have one last chance to make something happen. The gun is, in fact, going to beat the clone out this time. 3-0 for Goose.
I mean, that Nagoriyuki seemed like a solid pick at the end there. Honestly, it gave Goose a little bit of trouble in that final round. It seemed like we were going to make that comeback there, but unfortunately, a Goose in about, it was still a little force to be reckoned with on that Gold Lewis.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes all you got to do is shake it up a little bit. It can be hard swapping from character to character. You're trying to do a high technical character, trying to do those Kara cancels on Potemkin,
right?
Swapping over to the Nago and trying to run some more aggressive pressure. But sometimes that's just the answer that you need.
Yeah. I mean, Nagoriyuki can be terrifying in his own right, but I think the way that we were playing that neutral with Gold Lewis, really trying to control space with the Behemoth Typhoon, kind of catching on some backdashes a little bit. Absolutely. And even still, we started to play like a couple steps ahead that weren't quite showcased there. We tried to go for the call on that burst in the corner. I think we also retained that information where Goose had already called out a burst. I'm not bursting unless if I really need to. I'm not going to get killed for it.
Yeah, I mean, the burst baiting, it's something that people kind of go on one side or the other with it. You are sometimes dropping game-winning combos in these situations. It's like, oh, well, I'm trying to bait the burst, but sometimes people are expecting you so hard to bait the burst that just going for the game-winning combo will just win you the game sometimes.
And that's what we saw right at the end, right? We go for the bait, and things started to go downhill there for Goose, where, we kind of maintained control, but so much of the sequence after the missed burst bait was literally just scrambled to make sure we could maintain control. And we did come out on top. We had a substantial life lead. We could take that risk.
For sure.
But, man, what a good set here. And Goose is looking pretty strong on this Gold Lewis. We'll see what the rest of Block C has in store for us.
Already looking solid for round one. As we know, Texas has a lot of Potemkins. Potemkin and Milia are really the two shining stars for the Texas scene in general. So going to be expecting to see quite a bit more of that. I know we've got a couple of Milia goats, although I think that Walter's on the chip now for the most part.
Yeah.
We're at least experimenting a little bit on the chip. But we do have the likes of Van Swarm here, some very, very scary contenders. I mean, I think last Texas Showdown we ended up with, I want to say there were 3 Milias. Well, there were 2 Milias and Kazam, who in my mind is still a Milia no matter who he's playing. So
yeah, it's always interesting to see the regionality within North America. It's such like a small microcosm of what the spread actually is worldwide. But even still, those styles are very much there. I even remember back in Exerd of having the regional characters, like, for whatever reason, Texas was like a Ramethal zone for me. I know you all in the chat saying we were not, but I'm telling you, there was like 7 of you here at Texas Showdown in Exert. I'm telling you, it's real.
I believe it, honestly. It's one of those things, you know, you're picking up the game, your buddy's talking you into playing the game. Yeah. It's like, yeah, check out this cool character. I love this character. I can tell you everything you need to know about Ramethal Valentine. And then all of a sudden, the series is full of Ram players. Yeah. It's like, oh, well.
Times have changed now. Now it's all about Potemkin out here, apparently.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I mean, it's funny, honestly, I've seen a lot of Potemkin players not playing as much of the character, partially because of how divisive he can be right now,
really?
Right? Like, I've seen a couple, you know, one of my good friends, your boy Squanto, is like, you know, I've actually been playing a lot of Dizzy just because I want to play the game with my friends, and everyone hates Potemkin so much right now that, like, nobody wants to play against me if I'm playing the character.
You got to power down, you play Dizzy? That's crazy. Oh, my goodness.
We got our next match coming on in here. Very excited. Already a strong showing for round 2.
Got to get a couple letters up here as they start to get those buttons checked out. Thank you again for hanging out with us for Texas Showdown 2025. There's plenty of games to be had. I know they have lots in store going forward. Of course, like the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus happening later today.
Absolutely.
Actually, tomorrow is when
Grand Blue
starts. They got the team tournaments going on. I know there's a 10v10 for Mortal Kombat 1 happening tonight.
Yep.
I can't believe there's a chip mirror about to happen.
Beautiful stuff. This is going to be very fast-paced, that is for sure. Excited to see what we're cooking with some of that new rope mix. Those rope combos are so saucy.
So fun. So fun.
So instead of reflecting on themselves,
and some of those classics as well. I saw just a couple weeks ago, I was watching a Chip play. I haven't seen Chip in a while, but we saw a Chip in our top 8, and it was like, hey, this guy just did a wall run combo and literally hit this bike in for 70% of their life. What happened here?
That had to be risk gauge. Like, what?
Oh, wow. We got Phantom versus Flair G.
Oh, Flair. Okay. Yeah, I was more familiar with Flair on Giovanna, but, hey, it's been a whole year since seen Flair with a call DP, but no full challenge.
Going to be interesting. A lot of Chip players, I mean, a lot of them just completely disregard the DP in a lot of situations. It's such a risky option, and your character does just die when it happens, just like this.
I don't think Phantom got the memo. That's 2 DPs from downtown, and none of them found any sort of accuracy. Then YRC trying to buy ourselves a bit of time. Alpha mix is not going to work out.
That post-wall break, positive bonus situation for Chip is just so terrifying. Red RC is going to seal the deal in this first one. But that post-wall break, you go into the safe jump, you're just running a pressure string. Red RC continuing the pressure string forever. Nice round start option, get that big counter hit.
Opted for 5H, a little bit faster than the 6H coming from Flair. Oh, J2K, very low to the ground on that one. Phantom with the throw.
Running on through some of this corner pressure. Look for the overhead, a little bit safe. Once again, sending it on the Rekka, Red RC. You know, they took the counter hit away from that Rekka, but have you ever seen a Chip not have 50 meter to confirm?
So true.
Speaking of, again, Red RC coming through.
They call Chip the mixed character? No, the battery character. That's what it's. Oh, nice DP here. Flair showing you how it's done. Calls out the burst.
Oh, man, with a pixel and a dream, a Chip in a chair. Flair G comes through.
That's so unfortunate because you know that burst was hit like right before or somewhere around where that PRC hit.
Yep. I was one of those, I hit burst literally 2 seconds ago, and now it's coming out, and I'm dead for it. Great.
All right, burst away. Yep. Pulls the corner, does Flair. Good offensive decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to keep that corner, get some of that pressure running. J2K going to be a potent tool. So hard to catch which side that's coming, but hard burst extended.
Yeah, that should have been at least a wall splat there. You have to force Phantom to spend it, and they choose to spend it in a better position, but the Red RC conversion will finish the round here for Flair.
Yeah, the Red RC conversions are really where it's coming down to here. It's just every hit does so much damage. You're going up against the Chip, a little bit of a strange interaction down that one, but now lands a command grab again. Command grab. Oh no, we're clip farming.
Jumping H. Nice counter hit there for quick Rekka for corner. Massive lead for Phantom, but hey, 6P.
The overhead blocked out. Nice fuzzies on this Rekka. Mashes on the clone, gonna smack Chip in the face as well.
JK didn't convert anything, but big counter hit on the low swipe from the Rekka.
Oh, nice. Was calling out. I like the mentality. Phantom was like, hey, listen, I just hit you with 3 command grabs in a row. You're going to do some more command grabs to me. I'm fuzzy jumping this. You can't stop me.
Duel 1.
Yeah, good situational awareness here. Jesus! You thought you round start overhead?
With the Wild Assault as well. Going to get that positive bonus down. This is a really scary situation for Phantom.
Oh. Yeah, very good right there.
Well, we say you can do anything in this game with a 100-meter. Flare is right there right now, but has to escape the string first. Oh, no.
All right, got the burst. BRC goes for JK conversion. But you lost the corner there. Still has an okay life lead, but the YRC, nice, back away.
Nice, JH connecting. Just a whiff there, nothing to cancel into. Going for the tap dust there to try to open things up.
Yeah, trying to go for that micro dash to get a throw, but still will finish the job. Flare a round up and out match point.
Really, really solid awareness of the frame advantage in that situation too. One of those things where you're almost never gonna sneak by with some negative frames. In a mirror match against Flare, you know that they know what's up. There's the overhead coming through, sending it with no meter there, by the way.
Okay, sweet. IRC, Phantom trying to reset the situation here, gain control over Flare.
Looking pretty good here. Going to be going into the corner. The burst is going to beat out the super. There's 50 meter down the drain for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, a little muscle memory taking over there. This counter hit. One touch away for Flare. Blocking for your entire life bar here, and one big DP. May as well take the chance with only a pixel of health left. But full send on Rekka will get challenged. That 5P, quick and snappy.
Yeah, just waiting out for that overhead Rekka. We knew that they were there to take some risks. When you end up in that situation, you're like, hey, listen, I got to do something risky to make it back into this game. But unfortunately, Flare G was just ready with that good reaction. Super solid stuff on the chip.
Absolutely. Good little back and forth. But once again, still here is one player being an overwhelming force against their opponent. And Flare was certainly that overwhelming force. We've seen Flare so many times over the years of Guilty Gear Strive. And on this chip, not skip a step whatsoever.
For sure. We're going to be getting into our next game here in just a little bit. But again, big shout outs to Texas Showdown here. We are in a new venue this year, or a new old venue this year. But yeah, returning to a new venue. It's been a great time. Honestly, everything's been running super smoothly.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't had a chance, check out some of the stuff that's happening up in the Artist Alley. There's a ton of awesome artists and partners here. The Spiff jackets, if you haven't seen those, oh man. If you're
Spiff
at a
is
fighting game event and can see some of their stuff, it is awesome.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
Well, hold on. I got the, we try to present this correctly. Spiff has the Guilty Gear
Oh, here we go.
merch. There we go.
Yeah.
Goriyuki with Happy Chaos on there. And of course,
Very
Bike In
nice.
right there. Check it out. Spiff merch.
Yep.
Does
Very
excellent stuff. If you haven't seen it, comes in a cereal box if you buy one of the jackets. The jacket this year, also made by Spiff, the Texas Showdown jacket,
So
and
cool.
even the T-shirts. I bought one of the T-shirts like immediately because
Yeah.
Spiff does fantastic work. I'm glad they're here every single year they've been here. And yeah, a return to a classic venue for Texas Showdown.
Yep.
1,000+ entries here,
Yep.
and that was just at the time of last night when I
Yeah, I
looked at
think
it really. So
this
I think
morning
it's
I
gonna-
checked and it was 1,200 for the overall
Nice.
tournament, 87 for Strive here today. So we've got some people who are looking to take home the gold.
Yes, I mean, honestly, we had that pro competition happening, so there's a lot of folks coming out for that.
For sure.
And, of course, another stomping ground here for Guilty Gear proper. Tekken's also a big show of force here for Tekken. So definitely Texas Showdown is one of those premier stops. And I unfortunately missed out on last year's venue, but I heard it was also popping at last year's
Yeah,
venue. So.
last year was a blast, honestly. You know, it was the venues are definitely pretty different overall.
Right.
Last year was a bigger bit of a hall,
Okay.
but this one had like how they have the separate rooms kind of built out. You know?
Yeah, I heard
We
about
got
the
the
separate
arcade room in the back. We got the classic arcade and the nice new arcade, and then there's even some TCG appreciation here today. After they're going to do some panels in the room today, but then I believe they're doing a TCG open play for the
Okay.
rest of the weekend. I know I brought my One Piece decks. I'm ready to rumble.
That card game has been popping off. I've been getting ads for One Piece trading card game. That is crazy.
Join us. Get in here.
All right, we got our next competitors up in just a moment here, so thank you so much for bearing with us as we lock down the next show of Guilty Gear Strive on the winner's side of pools.
Absolutely. Potentially hovering over some Biken here. I feel like Biken got a couple of good buffs in terms of like the confirms and stuff, and has really not like super skyrocketed, but has really stabilized in like that kind of like top 10 zone of just like really comfortable spot for your character to be.
Yeah, she's pretty interesting. Only one player comes to mind that really has stood the test of time for Biken. That's Winty Guitar, right? Of just being such a strong competitor on Biken. And they've gone through thick and thin on this character. So anyone who is still playing Biken probably has gone through that exact same struggle.
For sure.
But Elfeld, also another character who's going to be very interesting because she kind of doesn't sit out as strong as we'd like her to be, right? Granted, if you are unaware of her Rekka series, then you are in for a world of hurt. But there's definitely some clear call-out ways you can snipe things out. Like you jab with a quick 5P to go for the arcing launch on that Rekka series. But otherwise, underutilized character that we have here. But check is now complete, so we'll get into it, folks.
Elfel also in such a fun place with the bomb super. I
yes.
think one of the most fun supers to commentate out of any in this game is just like, hey, you got put through the wall, and now you just have to panic for 6 seconds while the bomb is about to go off.
Right.
Getting into things here, though. A little bit of a passive round start. Just trying to get their pressure started.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things. The change for Biken's parry, on block strings, even able to come out. Like, that is going to be terrifying for Elfel here. But Laura certainly getting opened up pretty handily here by JoJo.
Yep.
Yeah, don't burst here. You may as well just die with it in this round.
Yeah, absolutely. We can be heroes later on in the bracket. Finding some good jump-ins here with the JS, though. Not seeing those 6Ps come out in just a beautiful 6H. Hey, I got a button that covers half the screen. You want to try jumping in again?
I'll double jump, that's for sure. All right, nice jump in. Ooh, trying to go for the parry, unfortunately, was too early.
That parry on block, a little bit tricky to use. Didn't get a counter hit this time, but you can always rely on that 9-framer far slash in neutral.
Nice JS. Yeah, no anti-airs from JoJo. Like, oh my goodness, Zansen connects, 100-meter available. What do you got, Laura? Nothing.
That vacuum on the Zansen took across a 5P coming through. Actually, we're getting big counter hit here. Lots of meter available from both of these players. Another big counter hit. Got a little blue beat combo there with the gunshot as well.
Even if it wasn't going to kill, I would have loved to have seen a firecracker shot come from Biken here. I think Laura really could have done a little bit extra damage, got a little more corner carry off of it. Yeah, the 100% meter. So now you're going into a meter deficit, right? Because the efficiency of what you're using is now capped out. You're not building up any new meter. You're going to gain a better position if you do it anyways. Granted, you get a little bit of tension pulse off of it, but at the very least, you're setting yourself up for a better position in future interaction.
Absolutely. And both these players are playing so active in the neutral, even at longer ranges, that gunshot can get a lot done, especially if you land a hit. I mean, you're plus a block anyway.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
It can be a little bit of a trap for a lot of players, but in a situation like this, like you see that Elfel 6H start coming out at full screen, that firecracker can do a lot for you.
All right, so Tommy Matt draws the line here. Not your turn to press. Laura with the wonderful counter hit. Oh, 6P wrong side.
Here we go. Nice JH connection. I think we do get the super in here. I think we're going to find just enough damage to kill.
All right, good cleanup for Laura. Even a small little mishap, and that is just out of your control because of when you press at 6 speed. Elfelt wasn't quite flipped on the opposite side for you to change sides.
Try to find a punish on that jump in. The JH coming through. Gotta be real careful about those jump ins against the Biken.
Nice.
Starter.
Oh no! That's the sound. You hear the whistle, you know it's your time to block the 6-8.
Yep, absolutely.
Nice.
A little counter hit on the Escabari, bursting out immediately, crossing yourself into the corner. Not exactly where you want to be, but might be able to make something happen here. 100-meter for both players.
Okay, got the kill. I was just going to send the firecracker. You have nothing to lose. You have 100-meter, they block it, chip, and then you do it again.
Yep, exactly. You just get a little run-up close slash, whatever you want. The Wild Assault starter going to be trying to go straight through the wall. Nice combo. Bursting out, though.
Already tethered up here. Nice launch with Tommy. Ooh!
The parry coming through perfectly and gets a punish afterwards. Laura's really starting to lock in on some of these pressure sequences.
They're definitely locked in right now as we slide in. Oh, but called out the parry attempt there from Laura.
Too bad here. Just trying to navigate the minefield of those gunshots. Now into the safe jump central. Follow up with the Escabari.
Stole the counter hit away. Sage into Tommy to steal a turn here. Laura, at least parry out. Oh, burst!
Once again, we got so much meter on deck. Butter on the bar. Red RC going up.
No, just
no.
finish the job, Laura. Laura, okay.
Went down with the 100-meter and the burst. A couple of ambitious baits, you could say.
Yeah, but the moment you called out, 100-meter, I'm like, yep, we should spend here. You're right next to the wall. Firecracker, finish it. It's over.
I mean, hey, supers are burst safe at the end of the day. You don't just Red RC into super if you need the confirm time. Can get you there for sure. Definitely looks like Laura's starting to come in for their wins here, though. Definitely putting it work. Nice Red RC.
You got this. Look at that. You better. Thank you.
Warming up here for Laura.
That's what it was, right? We weren't quite ready to do supers. We needed at least 2 games to do it.
Had to get the hands warm, you know?
I see. Okay.
Slash action.
You know, I wouldn't have expected a second Kabari like that either, I suppose.
There's the Escabari, sucking it all the way in.
Oh, really nice little setup there with the tether to support you. JoJo, clean. Back in, try to challenge there.
Red RC, can we get the finish here? The burst does come out, but hey, we were sending the combo and just waited out for the 6P. Good patient play from Laura. Solid stuff.
Yeah, very smart. You saw your opponent tee it off. It was all but perfect there for a photo finish.
Yep.
The advance out of your winner semis pools.
Yep, you can start feeling it as it starts coming in. You know, a lot of jump ins were happening sometimes. Wait back, throw out that anti-air. It's the way to go.
Super meter, Laura. Use it. Use the meter. But, I get, though, if you're holding on to that meter, it's for other interactions, right? But when you're so close to victory, instead of trying to go for those baits, why not just send that super? Because even before we spent that Red RC in that corner combo, it was literally, I already have you juggled. I just send a gunshot. You're shattered. I get hard knockdown. Pretty close to death. Not quite killing at the light point that we were at.
Positive bonus for the extra defenses.
Right, you're getting it back.
It's nice. It's nice. Hey, turns out wall breaks in this game, pretty good.
It was pretty nice. A lot of benefits. But, hey, you've still won. You still advance forward here. The life would have been ever so slightly easier. But at the end of the day, it's about achieving that victory. It doesn't matter how necessarily. The how changes over time, right? As you get better as a competitor, as you get better throughout these ranks, like you do find more optimal routings and decisions to make as you start playing, recognizing those scenarios.
I do happen to be a little familiar with that side of the pool as well. I believe that it's going to be Marvello that Laura's going to have to fight up next. Ooh. You're going to have to be clean, and you're going to have to be on top of it. That Marvello will run you down. They'll see that one opening, just be like, all right, well, this is my opening. I'm going to exist here now.
Yeah, Marvello is definitely going to be able to smother many an opponent with some of the whiff punishes that we've seen throughout the year of Marvello's competition.
And chip is so good for it, too.
Oh, yeah, because of the quick speed, you're in there. You got 5K, 5P even. I mean, we're adding on top of that the rope, being able to run along that, do wall combos off of it. Like that, Marvello's so terrifying with this chip now.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it. It is. It's such a scary character. It's just so fast-paced. It's so hard to keep up with for a lot of people. But once you start getting into it, it is a character that dies pretty quick. A couple of mistimed DPs here and there. It can definitely the games can run away from you fast.
Yeah.
Especially in a quote-unquote meta like we have right now with the Potemkin. You get pop bustered. You get pop bustered again. All of a sudden, hey, where'd Where'd my tournament set go? I don't know.
Yeah, it's always fun to see how the character spread has evolved over the last 4 years of Guilty Gear. I mean, it's a real treat to see how this game continues to change up, and with the introduction of like Venom, for example, and those still special moves for characters on the way, right? We've not finished out that roster of every character gets a new special move.
Very excited to see what, I mean, they've all, I feel like most of the special moves have been very, very interesting so far.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, do we even count Zados? I don't know.
Fair.
The teleporting with Eddie is cool in concept for sure, but, you know.
It's a way to get out of the corner?
Maybe. So I think a lot of Zados might just prefer running some more Eddie pressure.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Definitely excited to see what they cook up with those, though. I feel like ArcSys does an exceptionally good job, especially in the later kind of stages of First Drive here, of like getting into the identity of characters and really leaning into that. Where it's like Mei is always the example I bring up of like Mei used to just be the character that hit you real hard. Yeah. And I was like, that's not much of an identity at the end of the day, but now Mei's got all these goofy like beach ball mix-ups, jumping off the dolphin, making boing noises, and it's all of a sudden it's like still a character that kills you, but now it's a character that kills you, and it looks like she's having a lot of fun while doing it.
She's an accountant too, so like how it's so crazy. They're a fun accountant. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but yeah, it's been a real treat hanging out with folks here at Texas Showdown to try to get our next competitors stepped up to the plate. See the folks on the production side of things really kind of set players up, and we do have our next two competitors.
That we do. Going to get to see what we are cooking with here. See some of the Texas homies there in the crowd as well. Either waiting for their sets or waiting for one of their own homies to get up on here.
Pool's winner side here. All Group C action all the time here for this current block of Guilty Gear Strive.
Absolutely. We're going to be here for 4 hours right here on FX Games for the Guilty Gear Strive pools. Tomorrow, I believe they go into top 32 and then top 8 on Sunday. If I remember my schedules correctly.
Top 8 Sunday. I believe it's the last game that is being streamed, if I'm not mistaken, on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, well, no, it happens at the same time as Grand Blue. I think it might be another game that's last. But I know that Guilty Gear is happening at the same time as Grand Blue, so make sure you multi-Twitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Tune in, support both the streams, send those follows, and all of that goodness. Seeing some Chip versus Milia. You know, hot take, maybe there's not enough Potemkins in the bracket today. we got a lot of these Pixie characters running free. I don't know if this is okay.
It's just Chip and Milia, you know. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Little DP. Honestly, okay, I'm thinking for a moment there, I was like, are we button checking here? Is that what's going on? No, we're just playing the fastest neutral possible.
Is that right? Okay, I was still thoroughly convinced that we were button checking. I'm like, this is a long button check you two are doing.
There we go, little IRC. That Rising JK can definitely catch out some good Milia options. Chip can be a bit of the king of the skies if you get those air buttons correctly, but just a clean JH. We got Phil Raven and Marvin Stein here. Marvin Stein on the chip.
Nice JH while falling. Calls up the... How'd you know? Phil, how did you know?
Sometimes you just know. Here's the command grab, though. He's going to do a lot of damage against a character like Milia. Going for the overhead. No confirm off of that, though.
RC, just get the same side. Simple stuff.
Nice. Getting a little bit mixier here as the block string continues. That JH actually frame trapping into the far slash.
Baboon Shatter killing Marvin Stein.
Too bad. Shrug it off. We're all smiles here on stage. Get to play the game that we love for sure. Even if we are dealing with some interactions with a capital I, that's for sure.
Nice chase down here to make sure we maintain corner, but what a jump out here from Phil.
Too bad. A lot of those aerial interactions are really going to be where it comes down to, but it really looks like Phil is starting to hone in on some of these grounded footsies. Nice.
Yeah, good finish. Perfect round even, so in control is this Raven.
Little 7 ivory letters on the screen for you. Run up grab for your round start option. Hey, it doesn't get much more aggressive than that.
No, not at all. All right, good backdash away, though. Trying to chase the JK, and you know what? Millia's aerial superiority really coming to the clutch in that one. Slide in, hair card. Double dash, stole the corner.
Not too bad. Close slash, just going to get a block string started. Solid stuff. Charge dust. Make sure to maximize that damage through the wall. You got a nice HP lead, although it can go away in a moment.
I wonder if we had enough time after that blue threat to go for a bigger counter hit. Either way, we got that burst, and this is the counter hit I'm talking about. Calls out the burst, Phil. Very strong answer back.
Has put the burst in the bag. The classic 2-0 so far for Phil. Laughing. See the people in the crowd laughing it up.
Oh, the hecklers out there really getting Marvin Steen and Phil. All right, there's your burst. You can kind of see Phil trying to maintain that airspace, maintain that grounded linear control for Marvin. Whoa, Shuriken? In stride.
Yeah,
Okay.
Listen, not even to kill, just for fun, I guess, in the middle of the match.
Need you to not dash at me right now.
Not too bad. Does land the JH. Oh, I like that backdash in the corner, getting that meaty JH. Looked like a dropped input, but no.
Jump back here, Phil with the lead, maximum height on the Alpha Blade. There we go, command grab.
Could be huge.
Ooh!
Red RC off of the 2P for Milia. Gonna be not a lot of damage. Does the wall do it? It does.
I've been scaling right there, does get the W. And still having a good old time is Marvin Steen.
Absolutely. Nice mix coming through. Trying to go for a command grab might have been a little ambitious. If you're going to burst, it might as well be golden, but blocked it there.
I think Phil has blocked every single one of Marvin's bursts throughout the set.
Just unburstable. Hey, what can you do?
Just can't burst on Phil.
Just got consider deflect shield, I guess.
All right, Capel. You know what? Thank goodness that doesn't launch anymore. All right. Oh. All right, there it is.
All smiles and fist bumps up here. A nice match, a 3-0 coming in, but pretty volatile matchup, I'd say.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I mean, Milia Rage is out here zipping and zooming all over the screen.
For sure.
Hard to keep up with, and yet still, Raven was on fire with this Milia here.
Absolutely. Definitely cooking it up with the Milia. The chip mix was starting to come through a bit
Yeah.
as well. There was a lot of those good neutral interactions, but it was a little bit of a harder time getting some of the beneficial counter hits, you know, the ones that actually convert into a dead Milia on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, again, I think we could have done a couple different interactions. I really like the blue RC that slowed down the recovery of that 6B coming from Phil. And I guess we opted for a 6B of our own because maybe we weren't quite sure if the hurt box was still there, like how that was going to actually work out. Maybe we thought we'd get the counter hit regardless, but sometimes it's about taking that bigger routing if you already got the positioning. It wasn't a fast RC or anything, but at the very least, you still got your opponent slowed down.
And Strive can be such a game of pacing, right, where you're trying to either catch up to your opponent's pace or get them to slow down to play yours. And when you come in with two of those fast characters, you're both already kind of playing at the same speed. You don't get to make them take that extra step, which can be a lot of the mind game for a lot of those faster characters.
Yeah, I mean, watching the two pixie characters of Guilty Gear really kind of just try to control that airspace, try to control the ground game is always fascinating because it is that quick, you know, game of fencing that the two are playing here. Who's going to get the big counter hit to convert for a victory?
Absolutely. Those JKs coming in from the chip as well. Always so scary. See a lot of those aerial interactions. We've got our new gamers lined up here. Make sure to run those button checks as well. I think we saw an unbound dash button earlier in the day. I was like, ooh, even after a button check, that hurts. It hurts for sure.
Okay, we got a message for the people.
Oh, here we go.
Trying to figure out
camera
the camera.
one, camera two, camera three.
There.
Hold on. Focus.
Almost.
Zoom, enhance.
ASW, give us our new moves.
Ooh, you know, we were just talking about that.
I was just talking about it. I'm looking forward to it. So, Sidewinder back for Soul.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, listen, we got the Soul Exposition tomorrow.
Yes,
I'm very excited for it. We got
definitely
Soul's English voice actor in the house today as well. Very cool stuff. Maybe it's all a sign. Maybe they're going to announce it at Texas
Oh,
Showdown.
my goodness. Soul himself will say Sidewinder. Just like, oh!
Maybe if you we'll meet in the hotel lobby, try to get a couple drinks in. We're like, hey, you recorded any new voice lines recently? Like,
that's how we'll do it. Well, let's announce on the stream right now our intentions to intoxicate another person and just get them to say something that they do not want to say. Clip it, ship it, send it. We're not actually doing it, but you took it out of context anyways, folks. I know you did.
Here we go, getting into things. Let's see what we're cooking with. In the observatory, little Kai Kisuke. Woo!
Dual rulers on the way, by the way. That is going to be quite the treat to see. A lot of good nods if you are a Guilty Gear fan, for sure.
For sure.
Kai versus Leo. Duel 1.
All right, what kind of flavor of Leo Whitefang do we have today coming from Lag Spike? Darian on the Kai.
On the offensive immediately here. Very, very aggressive. The 5P calling out, getting a burst out as well.
Jeez, dash up with the 5K to boot. Let's bring it down. BRC to extend further. Turbulent shatter. Lag Spike.
Lag Spike definitely cooking up here. Aggressive as all get out on the Leo. Already one round down and a perfect 7 ivory letters on the screen.
Yeah, with no bursts to your name here. Lag Spike maintaining that control. Quick 2K 2D. Just a micro walk forward on it.
Looking for the hard knockdown here. Gets that meaty 5K.
Ooh! Bring on the heavy. I got RC to back this up. JP? I disagree. What are we doing here? Hold on.
We're cooking pretty hard, that is for sure. We got a lot of Leo fans in the community.
Nice. The back throw. Okay, staggered delay here. Generally, we're expecting pressure to continue for that corner, so that's why the throw attempt happens here after the stagger pressure from Lag.
One of my favorite things is when you have a bad option that's good because it's so bad, right? Back turn pressure is so strong that just canceling out of it and doing a throw is really potent. Oh, no, puts the burst in the bag.
Wait a minute, wait. But you hit with the super. So
it was just pure swag.
This is the craziest thing that just happened right now. So you hit the super, you put your opponent in burst, but you lock out their burst anyways because you're in super. You didn't recognize you hit the super, so you cancel. And you hold block. Your opponent burst.
Yep.
And you block the burst. Darian actually does the correct thing because, I saw you panic. I'm reacting correctly. Lag Spike, whoopsies. Still got the dub. All right, shock state, tap the dust. You can't see what height you're blocking.
Darian also coming in strong here for game number 2. Not going to take that last loss sitting down. Going to get that tumble state, though, into the wall stick. This is looking rough again. Darian on the back foot.
Slash slides into the DMs. Thank goodness he got 50%. Let's take the round.
Not too bad. That stun dipper RC, the classic.
Of course.
The Disney Fast Pass, I like to call it.
What a DP. I'm sorry. Round start, we Foudre arc, and we go for DP. Darian, you're playing like a Leo player.
Sometimes
5K.
you got to meet them in their own
field
of mentality.
You're
Another
so
DP.
right. It's the burst. Let's take a little bit of that positive bonus right back at it, though. Yo, we are just throwing DPs.
Hold on.
Pariah.
Does that wall stick? No shot. That was actually so cool.
No, you did not just do JH for momentum to get the side swap. Are you kidding me? Lag Spike with the swag? Playing the game. Playing the game right there.
I expect those clips in my Twitter DMs immediately, please. I got some Leo players I need to send that to.
That was wild. All right, counter hits to start. H-Series going to have to hold the guard point. Nice block. And a dash up punish with the close slash.
Ooh, no, you did not do
that.
No.
That's enough. That's why your name is Lag Spike. Because it seems like you're lagging all over the place in real life.
That's the kind of thing that will get a connection test called, but we're at a major, so I don't know. We're in person here. There ain't no lag to Spike.
I watched the game roll back offline just now. What do you mean?
Very nicely done. Lag Spike looking locked in 2-0 right now.
All right, Monson, there's the bar slash. Stun dippers. All right, we're shocked up. I'm still going to get the counter hit with the heavy. Wild Assault here. Extend a little bit further on that burst. Parry this. Come on now. Told
There
you.
it is.
Told you. You
Oh,
can't
right back at ya.
Providence burn.
Now that hard knockdown, of course,
There we
going to
go.
be getting a little bit more mix. No gold burst for you. Oh, no.
Interesting direction for that 6P to go. Oh, you know what, Lag Spike? You understand hurt boxes. Lag Spike's been playing for years. Gotta be, right? Like, not
This
Guilty
is
Gear.
nowhere.
Has been playing since the original Street Fighter, right? Like, just...
Nowhere for sure. Solid damage. Full 75% off the top. Nothing more, Barber, please.
All right. Jason, 2Ps. Actually, what a call out with the 2K right there because of the just block. JS able to connect that to the fast RC. Darian trying to maintain some semblance of control, but Lag Spike's big chill until this counter hit food drain.
Black Spike use their HP as a resource right now. It's plenty of time to make something happen. There's that little 2K, 5K again with the RC down.
Very interesting. I've not seen a Leo player go for red RC for the slam and pick up grounded after the DP though. There we go.
Oh, block stun dipper into the micro dash close slash. Nicely done. Black Spike running away with it on that one.
My goodness. The navigation, like especially with hurt boxes there, I do like the fact that we went for the 2K and it allowed for the Fuji arc to just go right over our head. So we're still able to challenge against Kai here. That was a great fun set to watch, but
Very fun, yes.
Lag Spike, you sly individual, you.
I like it. I just love situations like that where you're using a button to give yourself fast RC.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very like Fern-esque almost. If you ever see the Kai combos on Twitter, you know, where you hit a button like or with a throw in the air or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Literally just so you can save a little bit of meter so you can do some more swaggy stuff later on. It's so much fun. Always great to see as Strive gets older, people experimenting with some of the more fun, expressive combos as it goes on.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just been really great to see a lot of the spread of these characters really grow with the current Strive system and see how far they've come throughout the last few years of Guilty Gear Strive. But let's take a little bit of a break so we can gather our thoughts, talk about the Lag Spike issue that just happened on the street. Don't go away. Back with more Guilty Gear Strive right after this break.
See you soon.
Andy Boga. Ken. Joe Higashi. Chun Li. Mr. Big.
Our featured partner for Texas Showdown 2025, Post Oak Ice House, is the place to be if you want to play with Houston's best on a weekly basis. Home to Post Oak Fight Club and one of several weekly FGC meetup spots in the Houston area, Post Oak has provided an amazing venue for Space City Beatdown as well. With a huge indoor/outdoor patio bar and free games, come hang out and grab drink specials all weekend with your Texas Showdown badge.
The penultimate arcade stick in customization, the Traveler is both equally compact and spacious to fit a variety of push buttons and levers, leaving the imagination of our customization in your hands. The Arcade Shock website navigation makes it easy to customize nearly everything in-house. Come check out the Texas Showdown 2025 edition of the Traveler Arcade Stick, showcasing all the neat features and customization options available in all its glory. Quantities are extremely limited, so go hit up the Texas Showdown merch area if you're interested.
As a fan of retro and current fighting games alike, Luis is locked in on becoming the go-to FGC lure for local Houstonians. Houston FGC. If you find yourself in a 9-1 legal matchup not in your favor, hit them up. Remember, local gamers, don't get bodied and go 2 by fees. Contact his law office for more details. Fresh off the press at Hori comes the Wireless Fighting Commander Octa controller. It comes equipped with microswitch buttons, 3 interchangeable D-pads, and a short throw analog octogate. This controller is fantastic for those that enjoy portability, functionality, while being gentle on the wallet. Be sure to pre-order online at arcadeshock.com.
Truth lies only in victory. Can you comprehend that? Please make it good. Fortes Rondo. I'll reduce you. Take this. How about this? Boy, this! How about this? Boy, this! For my ambition! Take this! Not today. Embrace reality. Strength, self-control. To the finale. That was enjoyable enough. All things must come to an end. Give me stuff! Battle song! Fury. Video. Welcome back to Texas Showdown here. We are having a fantastic time so far. Has a lot of awesome games already, and we have people fighting to get out of pools here, and we are going to be seeing some of the results of that effort, see how people have been working up. I know we've got a lot of killers in the bracket. We've got Danny, of course, and many others. How are you doing so far, Zero?
You know, I'm doing great. I'm shocked we haven't seen Danny yet, though. That surprises me. We got a Kai up here, and it wasn't Danny.
I was peeking at the pools a little bit. I see the stream match flagged. I think we got some Danny coming here pretty soon, most likely. Very, very excited. Glad they got to make it. I believe this is Danny's first U.S. regional. So that's
is that
be,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
They're doing this, and they're doing, if I remember correctly, Evo Japan this year. And then had a lot of visa issues and stuff making it into the States. So I'm super, super excited to see some Danny.
Yeah. It's Danny's always been on TNS Online Terror for sure. Had their reign of supremacy for quite a while, and Jack put a stop to that for a little bit there.
Yep.
No, but it's been an era, right? Danny's always been quite the showman with this Kai Kiisuke. I'm certainly curious to see how that translates into offline play.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a whole new era, right? So online, offline, almost one and the same in a lot of cases here. The only difference that you have is now the energy of the crowd behind you.
Yeah.
At that point, right? So
it can definitely be a different beast. The anxiety that comes in with it, being on stage. Oh, hold on. Let me split for this one.
Okay, what is shout-outs to
David
Forsyth, English voice of Soul Bad Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in the building today, as a matter of fact, signing some autographs in the back. We have the Soul Bad Guy exposition tomorrow, and the winner, I think, is getting a signed Soul Bad Guy figurine. So
what?
Little 16-person Soul Bad Guy only bracket tomorrow. Super excited.
And they get a Soul figurine?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta jump out. I gotta jump in this. I will clearly take the whole thing. I have the power of David Forsyth on my side. Oh, I'm jealous. I've been waiting for like a good Soul. There is a good one. Oh my goodness. Actually, speaking of, it was on pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store for a while.
Yeah.
I forgot like what company made it, but you know the same ones that did like the Chun-Li battle stances, like she's doing the squat. I think it was the exact same company made Soul. The detail is so good. I want it so bad. It'll be my great shame number 3.
That's the one nerdy vice I'm glad that I always was able to resist is the figurines. I feel like once you get one, you're toast. You're just done.
I got one, but I stick within like a reasonable price point. I'm like, let's, if it's more than 100, then maybe not. But then, which is why I have great shame number 1 and great shame number 2. Soul potentially could be great shame number 3. Number 2 is Rengoku from Demon Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
I got it with a dragon fire. Anyway, I'll go up against BRX. It's adoptive father against adoptive son, potentially.
Solid stuff. Once again, shout out to Dual Rulers that will be coming out. I'm sure we'll be getting some very fun interactions between these two.
Very, very interesting first episode. If you were there live at Arc World Tour, you got and you got the extra spicy ticket, you could check out the first episode of Dual Rulers, which is pretty well done in terms of like showcasing that Guilty Gear style and flair.
Yeah.
It's a lot of character introductions. Not going to spoil any of it. Obviously, Soul Bad Guy's in it.
You can just hold that over people. If anyone gets really on your bad side, just spoil the first episode of Dual Rulers.
That's it. This person's here. You won't believe it. Justice shows up. Am I telling the truth? Am I lying? You won't know. Did I sign an NDA? Yeah. I did. No photos were allowed. They didn't say my mouth couldn't talk.
There you go. Here we go. We got the Sin Kisuke. Hello on the bandana.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Actually, they just opened that up in the art shop, too. You can buy the
I saw
iPads
that.
now, yeah. All right, Deep Driver corner, guard crush, and extend. Man, if Akuma would have ripped a Volcanic Viper right there, that would be the sickest thing in the world.
A little revolver getting across the screen. Wow. The hitboxes, turn on the hitbox viewer for that one if you got it at home.
Let's see, let's launch it up here. Dust, yeah, you better shatter. Or burst, rather. Shatter was coming. Throw. Sure is. Ooh, good back. Uh-oh.
Okay. The backdash, the charge dust is a little bit of an interesting one, but I can definitely see the vision here. Now you're in that Soul Bad Guy pressure, RC into the low. Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? That route has changed a little bit there. You're not getting wall bounce on that 6P anymore like you originally would hope for.
Straight through the wall. I believe we get plenty of damage on the clean hit. Nicely done. BRX taking first blood here.
Yeah, in that situation where we had that 5K, it probably would have been best to go for just a quick follow-up off of, let's say success there. Even you could have done 2D again earlier, but it was second hit off the 5K, so it was a weird interaction to get the shatter off corner.
Yeah.
Shoot, even Fafnir. We're not really seeing Fafnir combos coming out of Akuma yet.
Yeah, those new Fafnir combos are pretty sick, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
The wall bounce and everything. Very, very nice stuff. Trying to find some interactions here in the neutral.
Slow. Oh, the hook stomp catching the backdash. Akuma in trouble. Super.
Oh,
wait.
No clean hit, actually.
Oh, no.
Gonna save the wall, but you might be getting a lot of damage for your trouble. A little bit of a drop, but we call that a reset where I come from.
That was it. That was it. You clean hit, Shatter. You had it. Maybe expected the burst.
Oh, man, yeah. He's trying to bait the burst and going down for it here. You know, you mentioned 2D earlier. It's one of those things I always love about some of the identity of Sin's design and where he takes from Kai and where he takes from Soul is that Sin 2D really similar to Soul 2D, where it's like Soul 2D is a really potent option to mirror, and Sin 2D in the Soul bad guy matchup is also a really potent option.
Yeah. Got playing for safe pressure, backing away. That's not safe. Can't be doing all that.
They got backdashing a little bit.
Ooh. Nice little 2S, stopped it short.
Doesn't have Sam as well. We are going to the corner no matter what, basically, on Sinkies nowadays.
Oh, nice. 2H? No, he's going for the wall. Ah, not close enough for the wall.
Just so unfortunate on some of these combo routings here.
What would have been sick is after we got the close slash crossover, we could have Vortex real quick. Or even better, if you wanted to go for the jump route, it could have been cross under, 5K jump, and then go for JD. That would have wall bounced a little bit better for you.
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Gonna spend a lot of stamina here to keep this pressure going.
Oh, what a call out on the Fafnir, not a true block string. Uh-oh, that's cursed.
Follow up on that. Going for the overhead. Again, sure, this time getting the Kara.
Resources on the side of Akua. We've been backdashing so many times here. BRX needs to start smothering those options with extended normals here. No, not going to burst until it's a better opportunity.
Oh, nice backdash. Getting into that run-up far slash range. A little scary there.
Ah, they're into it. Nice. Really trying to fish with the 6S, and that's not a good look here. BRX, shatter ability, let's go.
Doesn't make it. Wall break barely hanging on with a pixel.
Yep, all the touch in the world, but the quick dash up 2K will shut it down. I think it's really starting to add up here. These call-outs on burst baits are not doing so hot for Akua right now.
Absolutely. And I mean, both these players also, you know, they're navigating neutral in such an interesting way where they're not really allowing the other player to get those clean hit combo starters that they're looking for, you know? A lot of these combos are falling a little bit short because these are two high damage characters. They're just not really getting those clean hits that they're wanting.
That's a stomp. Yeah, that's so true. I think in a lot of this set, it seems like Akua hasn't quite adjusted to this version of Soul.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of routing decisions. Like, yeah, we've seen some of the block streaks in the Fafnir, but it hasn't been like, all right, I'm going for that save pressure, or I'm trying to go for the quick RC bandit, like, which is traditional older Soul, but even still, try to go for those clean hit combos like you mentioned to get the bigger damage that you're looking for, especially wall routing. That's so critical to Soul's game.
Yeah.
Oh, nice call.
Throwing that 6K, making sure to stay up close and personal in the corner here. Pull DP right out, I'm not holding anything.
Nice patience, 5K. Quick interrupt. There it is, right? Just like I said, after the Bandit Revolver, go for the easy mix off JP. Ah, but what were we looking for there? After the Fafnir, I would have loved to have seen maybe a smaller delay. You go for wild throw right there. You got the meter, but hey, you open up after blocking. Throw. Ooh!
Oh, big counter hit.
Take it.
Had burst available. Plenty of meter, but jump scare time. That button's so fast.
You thought you were going to L-Con. Huh, that's a shame.
As a Testament player, I can say that button a little too fast.
Oh, yes, yep. Nice little walk back from BRX there. Oh, see, there's the mix. Got the single hit. Wasn't ready. Thought the full revolver was going to come through. Send it.
Tricky little traps for sure. Using that 5K for everything, kicking down doors and combos.
Whoa. Let's ride. Yes. Look at this. Huge pickup for BRX.
Oh, right back at you, though. We got a reversal. Didn't quite have the meter to fully confirm there, but that's still a good chunk of damage. Resetting you into this neutral. 100 meter now for BRX. You can do anything in this game for 100 meter.
Oh.
No stamp.
Must got the stamina back. Called out the burst. He didn't have to. Akua, he should have held on to it.
Goes for the eat right at the end.
Yeah, not much to get off of it though. YRC plus.
Just a little 2K into the tick throw. Getting onto the board here.
I would have loved to have seen Akua hold on to that burst in this round. It's one of those scenarios where you had the resources to at least survive the tensions.
Yeah.
Fafnir, get off me. Full ground is here. There's James. You gotta be careful these Fafnirs. We called out before.
Yep.
Nice. Nice! There it is. Nice!
Oh, and the
got it
first
this
bait.
time!
Going down. Warmed up a little bit. Readjusting to the patch on the fly.
It was, honestly, we saw that sequence in game number 1 where we tried to go for that exact same burst bait. It didn't work out. This time, BRX falling for it, that's huge for Akua. But you gotta finish the job and you got the chance. Spends the stamina to go for another Gazelle step, and that will be another game.
Just that quick 2K. Some fighting game player nods coming in. I understand it now. Really seeing how we look going into game number 4.
6S is the round start. Goodness. Delay close slash. You fell into it. That's on you. You bandit revolver, there's dash. You still got a dash.
For sure. Red RC keeping that pressure alive. The JP routing, trying to find the spacing, but that's in 6P.
Jesus.
Get off me from basically half screen.
Nice pickup here. Got that shatter. Unfortunately, not having a leader, but I can take those. Wall assault. See?
Oh, tap dust after the follow-up. Nicely done. Getting that dash into the tap dust.
Yeah, this is clearly ingrained in Akua's muscle memory, right? To go for the Fafnir ender off of our routes.
Yeah. Stray hit there. Getting a little scrappy with it. Here's some throws coming in.
Nice. Still our turn here. Caught those free jumps.
Oh, we're dead.
Why?
Oh, no. And just like that, it can happen that fast. You know, you think you're playing, you think you're having a good time, starting to like get the pace of things, and then all of a sudden, oh, right, Senkisuke happened.
Yeah, the young lad got the edge on you this time here. Yeah, honestly, like it was an interesting set back and forth between those two, but it does seem like Akua wasn't quite adjusted to this version of Soul yet.
Yeah.
Which that's huge. Like definitely try to take the time to try to set up for regular Soul routing. Clean hit Fafnir is such an important tool for the character now.
For sure.
And even clean hit heavy Volcanic Viper.
Yeah.
Getting that guaranteed shatter if it's close enough to that corner. That's even better for Soul. We had a few opportunities where, again, it's interesting. This block seems to be the block of failed burst bait attempts.
Yep, exactly.
Like, that's all that we've seen for every set so far.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to call out burst bait, and it just doesn't happen, and that's damage left on the table, which ends up costing you a game or even a set.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big proponent of just taking the burst when you can, you know. The burst baits can go a long way, can be nice and flashy for your round, but sometimes just making sure they get the burst. They have to burst or they're going to die. Sometimes you just got to take that extra hit. And, like you said, there's some of those really interesting changes that Soul went through. A lot of odd round changes for a lot of stuff that is a lot to get used to, especially if you're, maybe just here, you're like, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm not really playing Strive at home, but I'm here to cook in the tournament. I'm, having a good time. Oh, what? They changed my whole character? We're hurting a little bit.
Hey, we changed Soul, maybe 4 or 5 times now at this point? Like, every year Soul gets changed. You just got to be ready to adjust for it here. And granted, not too far off, but I think we just left ourselves in unsafe positions, right? Ending with Fafnir, not quite the greatest call because now we started getting used to it, where we could just DP right through. We saw that a few times. Yeah. And honestly, again, I think it leads back to that burst baiting where we did a couple corner situations where if you were just sent it. Yeah. If you look at other Soul players, we don't care. Yeah. We are just going to send it until you burst. You have to show me you're going to do it if you want me to start respecting it.
Exactly. And I also think that, you mentioned the wall stick thing earlier. Yeah. I think it's a really interesting choice they've made they've done it with Slayer with the pile bunker as kind of a damage mitigation tool a little bit, right? A little bit. At the very least. I think that's the idea of it at the very least.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, we're going to force the wall stick so you're not looping these like you used to with the Red RCs and stuff. And it's like, well, yes, but now I just have such an easy access to positive bonus, right? It's just I just hit a close slash and then I HVV there, right? And now we're going through the wall, easy peasy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all the additional resources that make Soul all really overwhelming now.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So it was overwhelming to begin with. This is one way to kind of help mitigate that, but also if we're good enough and we're hitting those clean hits as we're supposed to, we're still going to start to snowball effect throughout the set.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely making use of some of those in-game resources. Looks like we got our next 2 gamers on
unfortunately can't quite spy.
We can take a gander right through the cracks of the curtains.
Yeah. We'll have some more Guilty Gear Strive action for you here, though. Texas Showdown 2025, having a great time so far.
Yes.
I hear that character select music coming through. We'll be getting to you here shortly.
Absolutely. Yeah, Texas Showdown, of course, one of the premier events across the United States here. Strong pedigree in Guilty Gear, strong pedigree in Tekken, and even in NRS titles. So there's still a lot to be seen here in the heart of Houston, Texas.
Absolutely. 1,200 players came out this weekend to see who is the best of the region.
Yes.
We have 87 here in the Strive bracket at least, and I mean, we're cooking so far.
Yes.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been an interesting spread to see. We got both big bodies in Pot and Gold Lewis. We've got a chip mirror.
A lot of Chip Amelia. We're seeing we need a couple more Potemkins, I think. I got to call in some favors here. I do see Danny coming in.
Yes.
We're going to be getting to see some of that Kai. And another Gold Lewis player here. We saw them earlier cooking it up.
Gold Lewis, absolutely terrifying here. We saw, Rang really show what Gold Lewis can do on the world stage here. Danny also, again, strong competitor with this Kai Kisuke. It's going to be really tricky to navigate the Gold Lewis matchup in a lot of cases because some of those buttons, especially off Behemoth, can make things kind of difficult here for Kai. We'll see how it plays. Because the aggression of Danny, that's the one thing you want to fear, because Danny's going to be able to close that gap very quickly and just call out some very obscure scenarios.
Yep. And it's also one of those things where, even with how strong Gold Lewis is, it's not the most popular character in the world.
Right.
And Danny historically has had a little bit of struggle when it's like, he's playing a lot of online brackets, but if he doesn't run into your character a lot, he'll sometimes just kind of fall for some of those, the niche things that your character does. Falling for some of those knowledge types. We got Almaza himself here going in, boosting about.
6K, still reapply the stun. And try to control the airspace, but great navigation for boosting about.
Absolutely. And Kai's really one of the king of the sky kind of characters. Ride the Lightning here. Rare footage of Ride the Lightning dealing a little bit of damage.
It was that immediate conversion, right? And still excellent positive bonus to put ourselves in a better state on this burst gauge.
Yep. Using that security gauge here to get the full confirm. And we're going into some mixed. Misses the throw, unfortunate. And here it is, round one, Dragon install from D and Manny.
What do you mean, Danny? What do you mean? What are you doing? I gotta see this. If it happens.
Here comes the laser beam, though. You're going to have to hold some of this. Makes it through the mix and finds the 5P.
All right, curse has been lifted here. Danny has one with Dragon install, so
so I have a theory about the Dragon install curse, right? Okay. You can win with Dragon install as long as you don't use any of the buttons that are buffed by Dragon install. You win with like 6Bs and far slashes and stuff, then you're totally fine. The curse doesn't apply.
Okay, interesting. They added a twist.
Yeah. Here we go, routing into that DP, that new Kai routing with Shock State.
Look at that. So much damage. Big coffin swing.
Oh, wake up. Behemoth Typhoon going for the overhead this time.
Choose Behemoth. Control the approach. Burst is on deck if you so choose. But Danny more likely to opt into a wild assault scenario if Goose gives the opportunity.
Aggressive burst says, get back down the corner. I need to run my pressure.
There it is. Got wild assault again coming in the clutch. Danny going to be able to convert for corner. That'll do.
Gotta love Danny optimizing some of those combos for the new patch as well. I know many a Kai player who I've had in my ear has complained a little bit about Danny's routing, but listen, those Kai players and their routing, they get real protective about it. But Danny has definitely done a lot of cleaning it up, right?
Oh, nice. Garcan's Loud. I think that's what makes Danny so potent as Kai, right? It's not the traditional Kai approach that you see from Danny. There's a lot of hyper-aggression.
Yeah.
And we saw that with the burst. It was so confident that we didn't want to spend burst in the last round. We saved it for wild assault and got the victory. But this time, we're definitely going to want to try to give it another shot with this burst.
Yeah, I mean, you saw when Danny first came on the scene, basically defined the play style of Kai Kisuke with those deep run-ins into the jump base, right? And every Kai that he would meet in tower or in bracket was just emulating that Danny play style. And Danny's evolved since then, which has been really, really cool to see, too.
Absolutely. Direct clap for the shock state here, 2-8.
Major arc with the shock state. Getting some more of those positive frames. Sacred Edge through the wall.
Nice, got the tap, though. Able to convert this with this rolling cancel.
Yep. That HDP does so much damage. 7 ivory letters on the screen. One of the other things about Danny I always love is kind of the resilience, right? Danny will almost never take a loss and then just kind of roll into the next game. It's always that hyper-aggression immediately. Will never take a loss sitting down. There's nothing scarier than Danny right after you reset bracket on it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Danny going down to losers ever is...
It's a monster.
That's a run. All right. Farm slash, though, about to build the burst. Yep, there it is.
Put the burst in the bag. Clean routing as well here into the corner.
Goes for the drift there. Try to slow things down in the air and air. So we could go for that behemoth.
Ooh, nice.
Last-ditch effort on that burst. Going for that guard cancel, but Danny going to be relentless with a couple of wild assaults. Goose in the booth goes down.
Smiling it up here. Make sure to stay hydrated out there during your sets as well, y'all. It's very important to take care of yourselves. It gets hot out here in Texas.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Oh, there it is, the classic. The throw bait after the deep run in.
Ooh, got the IB. Yep. But still, because we had the meter resource, we were able to RC and maintain our turn there.
Yep.
Put up with the close slash. Good patience with Goose. The 2P. I can't believe we got the whip punch off of that.
Oh, no wall break, really. Into the throw. Nicely done.
All according to plan.
Didn't even have time to react to that not breaking the wall, honestly.
Back away. Oh, trying to sneak in that 6B, but JD from Gold Lewis is so tricky to anti-air sometimes.
White Wild Assault, we've been seeing a lot of this coming in from Goose in about a drop unfortunate after that fast RC.
There it is, JD. Side swap. Interesting reset for the mid screen because now you're close to the west coast of the screen. Block the YRC, it's still our turn, baby.
This is going to be a little bit of damage. The wall saves your life there.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Yeah, try to go for the air throw. Cold burst is a great call. Get off of me, please.
I like it. But you got to get in now. The DBFZ player is coming out and Danny and BRC in. Nicely done. 3-0 for El Maza. Going against the Gold Lewis here.
Cool as a cucumber is Danny Elmaz out here with this Kai Kisuke play.
Absolutely.
Again, maintaining all that control over this Gold Lewis. And even when there was opportunity for Gold Lewis to really start pushing, Danny stayed cool. Like, especially that first game where we didn't spend the burst, we saved it for the offensive route instead because we were that confident we were going to win the neutral anyways.
Absolutely. I mean, and Danny is just so confident on the screen. Has been playing Kai basically exclusively. Had that little stint with Bridget for a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just been a down-to-earth Kai player through and through. It's a character that will reward you for those fundamentals, and Danny's got those fundamentals all day.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. The aggression from Danny can be so overwhelming, especially since we're on this Kai Kisuke, applying shock state over and over again. The new routes makes them all the more potent. It's a real treat to watch Danny week in and week out on TNS, and I'm sure for all of you at home to watch regularly compete. Hopefully we see more Danny out at these live events.
Yeah, and I love Danny coming to the live events as well. It's one of those things, too, where it's like, if you ever meet Danny at one of these live events, you almost have no excuse to not understand how he plays a little bit because he is in every single online bracket.
Right.
It is 7 days a week, sometimes 8 or 9 brackets a week, but we don't talk about that too much. You know, it's wild, but he's out there and he's grinding online. He's very available, so awesome to see some of that here in person.
Yeah, we're getting our next competitors stepped up to the plate here as we continue down through this Pool C block. Still plenty more matches to go, and still plenty of competitors to lock in for these higher positions as they qualify out of pools. A returning player, and of course, another new head competitor step up to the screen.
Got some much love for the new head homies. We've got Kermit here. We're going to be cooking it up. I haven't gotten to catch much of Kermit recently. I believe still on the Biken.
Okay.
I believe he'd be a hard sell to swap off with the buffs coming through. We'll see, though. Trying to find your zen, focus up.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Just going right in. We are going right in, baby. Phil Raymond back on this Millia Ray, of course, against Kermit. Oh, nice.
I was going to say the damage differential between these two is really high, especially if you start with a JD from Biken. That is a scary starter.
The Kabari here again, just controlling that linear movement. Good air throw. Phil kind of at a loss for how to approach. If you're covering the ground with some Kabari, that's going to make it tricky for Phil to close in, so it forces you to jump, which is all according to plan for Kermit, because then we go for those quick air-to-air, air throw.
Yep.
Even that JD at round start, like, Kermit's already in control of the set.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever looking for one piece of thing to hone in on in your Millia mid-range matchup, it's those air throws. They're so potent, and they'll stop a Millia in their tracks and give them so much more to consider in the matchup.
Yep. All right, nice 2P. Finish the job.
Yeah, once again, super to confirm. Fast work here for Kermit. Running off a little bit there. The smile starting to peek through. Starting to hit the groove a little bit.
There's that patience coming from Kermit. Like, not overly aggressive, just waiting for Phil to fall into range of Biken.
Yep. And a lot of these manual delays as well, those Kabari follow-ups, put in a lot of work. And, I mean, the confidence that when you get hit, you know how much damage you're going to do.
Phil Raven getting catch in the case of getting guilty geared.
And a perfect coming in. Gonna have to lock it in a little bit. So far, it looks like Kermit just has all the answers.
It is, again, that sensory overload I'm talking about, because exact same round start, we're hit with Kabari here. So that is forcing Phil to think about the matchup differently. Instead of making an approach, you could potentially 6P through that Kabari, but you're opting for jump every time. And Kermit has already locked down the ground game. So Kermit here in this moment is asking Phil, figure it out. And if you don't, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and burst, not even on the table for you. Another perfect coming in for Kermit. I mean, Kermit's just so confident in navigating the neutral as well. We keep seeing this far slash 6P, all whiff, but he's still just like, yeah, round start, I'm going to do far slash 6P, and you're going to run into the 6P eventually.
There's no perfect this round at the very least. Back away. Trying to box dash, not going to work out. Kermit still finds their hit.
Stuff lands a throw. The tether is applied.
Jump here, nice 6P to put Phil right back in the corner.
Oh, wow. Keep it safe. Little TK Ozonson classic. Clocking into the 50-50 factory. Kermit is looking clean here.
With throw, nice JS with the side swap right after. Good call with Ozonson.
Oh man, into the throw as well. Not going to be keeping that block string true. Once again, hard knockdown, positive bonus. Millia's going to have a hard time breaking through those extra defenses here.
Oh, trying to get that deep 6P.
Little TK Bad Moon. Nothing to convert off of that. Unfortunately, no red RCs off the parry for the Biken players, but plenty of stuff to work with. A pixel and a dream, just a chip and a chair. Could be all you need here.
Oh, this is going to be the gunshot. Nah, I told you it was the gunshot. Jump finishes the job, and that does mean that Kermit advances on winner's side, so out of the pools here, and alongside Phil Raven qualifying on the loser side here. Just as this is round 2, I think that's going to be top 24 territory, if I'm not mistaken, how this is broken down.
Yeah, making it out of pools is no mean feat here in this bracket of Texas Showdown. Lots of killers, regardless of whether you make it out on winners or losers. Definitely an accomplishment. Something you can stick in your hat for the future. We're getting some more drive action, though. I mean, so far, we've seen Kermit make it through. I believe that was Danny making it through on the pools on their side as well. I know we have some other killers who are lurking in the waters here as they kind of make their way through.
No, I think the only one so far, we do have a couple loser side matches in, so that must have been straight through the loser side of those respective brackets.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been an interesting run here so far. I think we are getting to that last final round. That was Pool C4 for Kermit and Phil Raven, and then in the background on the loser side of that pool is ATL Riot qualifying for the loser side, top 24. Just checking back.
Speaking of not having an excuse for a matchup, if you're ever struggling with the Axel matchup, ATL Riot, an absolute GOAT, runs, I want to say, don't quote me on this, I want to say it's on Wednesdays, has just a workshop for Axel players and people trying to learn the Axel matchup. Is an absolute treat and a tool for the community. Love ATL Riot. Glad to see them making it out.
Heck yeah. You know what's interesting? I'm looking at tangent here of Pool C2. We have Kermit in Pool C4.
Yeah.
In Pool C2, we have El Kermito.
Yes. Yep. It gets me every time. I'm like, is Kermit entering under a pseudonym? Like, what's happening here? He puts a little mask on and we're supposed to be like, oh, who's Racer X?
Whoa, crazy. But in Pool C2, we're waiting on the match of Walter versus Timberly. And Haruko is waiting in the winners finals of that pool. See who makes it out. We're still waiting on the loser side of things there with Lag Spike and El Kermito going on. And Darian waiting for the loser, Walter and Timberly. I know Laura is stepping up here pretty soon to try to qualify for winner's side top 24. And yeah, Danny Elmaza actually will be going up against BRX. Will be the next one
nice.
here. So we did see Danny versus Goose and about just outside in the winner's semis. And then loser side, we still have matches going on here for Pool C1. Let's see who we got.
Beautiful stuff. Plenty of time for these gamers to make it in.
Yep.
Little Flare G action.
Flare G Laura. The winners finals of this, so winner moves on to top 24 winner side, loser drops down.
Time to see what we're cooking with. The Chip versus the Biken.
Let's see how this breaks down, of course, with the Laura. And, of course, Chip. I mean, still just as much aggression, but Yozanson does so much work in this matchup here as Chip decides to get a little frisky, especially with rope setups.
Absolutely. Interesting stuff. Both players playing with the tethers and the ropes in very different ways. Little button check moment here. Make sure, listen, it takes a couple seconds at the start of the match. When you're in person, always do the button check. It is not worth it. You do not know what kind of incredibly whack setup your opponent has. Like, I've seen up bound to like right bumper before. Like, there's some madness people are playing with out there.
I definitely opt for, I do it in character select.
Yeah.
I'm of the camp that if it's in character select, that's our button check. We don't do button check in game. It's 2025. It's in character select. You do it. But I also respect, some people need that reassurance.
Yeah, just making sure that everything's working correctly. No overheated PlayStations here. Interested to see. One of the things you always got to worry about when you're one of these low health characters, bike and parry becomes such a more effective mental spot.
Right.
It's one of those things. When the bike and parry deals 25% of your max HP, you're worried.
It's a little bothersome. Good chunk of damage here. Kamari comes through, immediate burst with Flare.
Nice. I like putting that in. Biken almost playing like a zoner game plan here with the Kabaris. Like, I just want to keep Chip out. I'm going to throw out preemptive buttons. And Chip's like, okay, I'll be on the top of the screen. Let me know when you're done with that.
And that was kind of the expectation here, where I suspect that we're going to see Laura go for Yozanson a bit more in some of these interactions. Now that Flare has closed the gap. Oh my goodness, command grab.
Got to mix in those throws, especially when you're calling out those bike and parries. There's the overhead. Does catch the landing frames here.
Honestly, anything here.
Yeah, we're escaping at the very least with the block string parry and getting actually a huge amount of damage into the Escabari. This could be terrifying.
YRC away. Let's get a little bit of time here for Flair to get the throw and finish the job.
Yeah, Chip has so many options off of that 5K too. The 5K pressure can be really, really scary.
Right. Yeah, look go. Go. Quick shatter. We'll get that positive bonus, of course, but oh my goodness, he was spent.
Absolutely. Making it through the wall. Definitely looking solid for Flair G. Overhead getting blocked out. There's a big parry.
That's probably a note there for Flair. Like, you're willing to pair out Rekka, so maybe I don't commit to the full series of Rekka and I have ample opportunity to get a big punish.
For sure. But now Flair with the meter advantage. Burst will be back any moment now.
Nice pickup here. Caught slowed down by the PRC because of GT there. Nice.
Super solid stuff coming in from Flair as expected. Feeling the energy. What's your opinion on the headphones during match? I've always been told never to rely on something that has a battery to hold my mental together, you know, but I appreciate people listening to their own music during the set.
I don't know, like I definitely, sound is so important to me in any video game.
Yeah.
So if I can't hear something, you're probably gonna mix me up.
That's pretty fair.
That's my call.
Wow, nice BRC into the parry.
Set up here, tethered up, and nice backdash. Flair able to get a passive conversion. Good double jump. H gonna help.
Again, nice. He is going to be getting a stock here. Laura looking pretty solid. And again, it's just the number of interactions is what's the most important here, because every single one of these Viking interactions is taking at least 33% off your life.
Right. So that Flair trying to keep up with this life deficit.
Oh no, the parry getting called out so naturally.
Chase it down. Oh, yo, Zonson, not your turn here, Flair.
Oh no, lost the routing a little bit on that. Wild Assault confirmed here. We're going all the way to the wall.
Nice little jump. The JS is still able to get a 5P on the fall from Flair.
Just staring it down. The red RC comes in and Laura is on the board. 1-1. Tying it up against Flair G.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Very late to Tommy here to shut down the approach from Flair. Still trying to apply Kabari.
Yeah, still using that Kabari as like a pseudo zoning tool. Definitely saying, I want this chip out of my face. When you do get into my face, that parry's coming out right away, or this burst potentially. There's that 9-framer getting DP'd out. BR seems with DP such a potent tool in those round starts.
Away. Nice parry. That was so risky there from Laura. They got some deep run up here. That's a good tell that Flair's probably going to press a button.
Like the J2K just to get down to the ground a little bit faster here. And the wall run. You're dead if you don't burst.
This is what I'm talking about. At this point, I mean, honestly, don't burst here, but commit, right? We had the red RC to lift off to buy extra time to let the opponent determine whether or not they wanted to burst.
Oh, yeah.
The moment you assess no, that's when you set that full wall combo.
Absolutely. Coming in. 6 Ps on the Kabari. Good call out because we've seen that as Kabari after the parry so many times already.
Oh, wow. That was a JH. Nice little break kill right to Yozansu.
I'm liking this. Tether is applied. The 2D's going to connect. We got tether combos.
Alpha bring it back. Nice backdash away, but the parry up blocks. Oh, nice pick up here from Laura.
Something was trying to come out there. The close slash getting the counter hit. Every Strive player's dream at the end of the day.
Ooh, 5P. Not going to work out. Back away. Good patience from Flair with the JH. She's a couple of 5H. Wait a minute.
A little bit scary making it through the wall here.
Uh-oh, yeah, overcommitted. No challenge there, no punish. Flair got very lucky with the 100 meter, not going to spend it. All right, now wait a minute, don't test your luck this much, Flair, hold on.
Look a little scary. Oh, the BRC forward. Trying to bait the burst. Nice burst timing, though, from Laura. Has one chance to make this happen, and no, the trade is going to be plenty of damage for you.
All right, back in it here we go. 2-1 lead right now.
Yep. Very solid call-outs coming in from Flair to secure that third game. Now in game 4. Look at this damage. Holy.
Oh, no. Sorry, Chip. You just got guilty here.
Yep. HP is a resource. One single resource.
Oh, GG. All right. Did get the air-to-air with the JK. Nice cross up here. Flair going to send it for a positive bonus.
The train positive bonus back and forth here, though. Viking now almost at 100 meter. What they can make happen.
It's tough. It's tough. So you had quite the corpse run for corner, but that Yozansen was imminent. And I don't know if too many people are fast enough to react to that on like, without making a hard read.
Absolutely. I mean, it's such a nice 50-50 situation for Viking, especially off those close flashes. Glassy-eyed, clocking into the 50-50 factory for my 9 to 5, you know.
All right, good stand block right there. Recognize we still had right on that one. Ooh. Terry gonna get called out for sure. Laura gonna hold on to this burst and reach for another round.
Nice Terry. Oh no! The counter hit on the Kabari. We got multi-hitting overheads. Didn't RC for the confirm. That might have been the game for you.
Yeah, Laura's taking a lot of cautions. We saw the one DP. Odds are it could be another DP from Flair, but no chance at the Yozansen quick overhead.
Yep. Taking us to a game number 5 against Flair. Very nicely done. Utilizing that fast RC at the end. I was waiting for it. I saw those 5Ps come out. I was like, hey, 5P red RC maybe? But it's hard to trust a combo at that level of scaling, you know?
Yeah.
Instead, saving the meter for a little bit of mix. Seeing some of the mentality come through. They're trying to make it out of pools today. Knocked down. This definitely is looking like a Flair G game. Another super through the wall. Chip with positive bonus. What are you going to do?
Oh, she's trying to get the overhead here. Good parry.
Very nice.
Coming here. Good block stun. Nice tethered up here. YRC out. It's still anyone's game. Take the maximum height. And the tether is a great tool here because it tells you exactly where Bike is located on the ground.
Moving things around a little bit. Kabari into the red RC. Are we going to bait the burst? No. We're just sending it. Taking the damage while we can. One match away from sending Flair down to loser side.
Parry. 1-6P. Another one. Beautiful conversion with the 5K, and that's a burst from Laura. Just want to hit the 50% fight threshold.
We'll run up 6P.
Not quite getting the shatter. Doesn't want to take it yet. Wants to make sure that the next combo does get the kill.
Laura is so locked in on these overheads. Will not let one of these high-lows hit, but this is a scary situation. I think we're going to be living here thanks to that Japanese guts, but still a rough situation to be in.
Still taking. Does get 2K overhead off the Rekka series. We're at final game, final round here.
Classic little double Luigi. Wouldn't have it any other way, both these two fighting for their lives here. Flair G looking like they're starting to get in the flow state of things here, though. This is looking nice.
Stuff first, great position for Laura, but still able to run up. Showstopper.
Oh, caught the overhead. Excuse me, where are we going? Help. Woo! Help! The parry comes through.
That's enough. Another throw with the tether.
Oh, no.
Laura, nice block on the Yozansen here from Flair. PRC tries to call it out, and what a neutral jump here. What a 5P anti-air. Flair G with a clutch. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the fuzzy guard off that interaction, Flair would have been in trouble. We've been called out by the Tiger Knee, Yozansen so many times. Yet Flair still able to react with that fuzzy guard at the very least.
Beautiful adaptations. They say that defense is a great offense, but in this game, if you don't have the good defense, you'll never get to try the offense. You know, we saw a lot of that going back and forth. Flair G just locked in a little bit extra at the end there. And that 5P punish on the aerial, just so good. And also spotted a little bit of a startup of a move there with the Yozansen block, but you can FD cancel all of your normal moves as you're starting them up. You know, if you ever see the screen slow down, super animation start up, just hit that FD button. Sometimes you might be in the first couple frames of your move and get that jail free card on that jump cancel.
There you go. Yeah, it's definitely having active defense on your side throughout sets in Guilty Gear is so important because, like you said, you might not get a chance to get out. I mean, you think I'm just going to sit there and block all of Behemoth Typhoon for the rest of the set?
Exactly.
No, you're going to die.
We're living in a Potemkin Millia world in here in Texas, and you never know when your last interaction with Millia is going to be. It could be you get hit with a random /round start, and that's the last chance you have on offense.
Absolutely. I mean, that was quite the set to round out here, of course, to get Flair in on the winner's side of top 24.
Yep.
And then, of course, Laura will be in on the loser's side of top 24. And I'm just double checking because C2 is still moving at a pace here, but I think we might get Danny and BRX coming up on stage in just a moment. And lo and behold, we are. Production, that was sick. Excellent transition.
Perfect timing. We got the Sin Kisuke stick coming through, custom art and everything. You gotta love those character representatives. Gonna be locking in here, trying to make it out of pools on winner's side. Secure yourself a little bit of that leeway going into tomorrow.
Absolutely. And in the background, it's Goose About versus Froggy Airplane for the opposite loser side of top 24.
We'll see what Danny can come up with here. The Kai versus the Sin Kisuke.
Yeah, as they get warmed up for this one here. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be fun. Looking back at Danny's record, of course, is just plenty of online wins, but that does not mean that we aren't prepared for some sort of offline event. Of course, Danny does have those stomping grounds as well.
This is Danny's first events in the States, so it is definitely a big deal to have a good showing here for this one.
And like you said, scheduled for that EVO Japan. But man, I mean, look at all these online runs. I mean, third place at the last Fly Quest there on the 20th. And just even still going through like TNS, shut up and fight. Yeah, so many online. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's a ton of online. I mean, I know I was running through stats for my own bracket recently, and I was like, some people have won like maybe 2, maybe 3. And it's like, oh, Danny won 15 in a row? All right, here we're cooking.
It's so fascinating here. And Danny, not the only Guilty Gear Strive competitor to just show up and show out offline. Look at Jack. First offline was Evo. Look at Nubenheim. First offline being a CEO Taku. So, there we go. Positioning is superb for Danny. And even after the Wifuji arc, we're still challenging with 2B.
Big Driver trying to come in, trying to find these JKs as well. Sin JK a lot stubbier than some of Kai's air options, but can be fast enough to catch out with 3 buttons.
Our slash, good little backdash to Blaze from BRX. Slides into the DX, but nothing coming out. Nice counter hit. A little steal.
Solid stuff for Danny. Nodding it out, shaking it off. One of those things you got to adapt to as well in these online situations is that crowd noise.
Yes.
It's something. Fighting game players, we're very passionate about our games. Love getting loud, love getting hype about it. Ooh, the Wild Assault is not going to let you burst for so long.
Lasting effort, but with the meter to boot, Stun Dipper comes through, and Danny with the perfect round here to finish it out.
Very solid stuff. 7 Ivory letters on the screen.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Back with a snipe on Stun Edge.
Yep.
Hey, wait a minute. Never mind. I'm not going to spoil the video. Y'all need to see the anime. I got questions about Stun Edge. Actually, I don't want that Stun Edge. I want this one. All right, nice.
RC leads the burst as well with the jump cancel. Clean stuff. You had the extra frames when that red RC doesn't connect.
Yes. 2K2D, let's take it home. You thought you could dunk, the hoof stomps.
No resetting here in the corner. Got some plus frames on that 6K.
Snack it up. Wait a minute, that was a whole kebab. We're doing pretty good. Well, which version of kebab? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to do the math on snacks. It's not going to end well for you.
Yeah.
It's like counting calories in real life. You just don't do it.
Yeah. Listen, we're at a fighting game event. There are no calories at a fighting game event, all right?
Oh, so we're negative calories here like a celery stick?
Exactly, exactly. I got a bunch of steps and all that burger I ate this morning, nothing.
Perfect.
I like the air movement here. Oh, catching the back dash well.
Saw the movement there too, like you called it. Trying to call out a DP attempt from BRX. It was going to be a last-ditch effort. Danny understands when they see a wounded animal, that doesn't mean they're down and out. They're more vicious than ever. And BRX left flabbergasted to the snare. Danny's just locked in.
Yeah. Bursting on out of here.
Uh-oh.
Interesting situation there, but not a super clean punish. Honestly, probably fine for Danny.
Yeah, a little bit of a far slash there. Here we go. Dire clad shock and all with the red RC. Trying to call a burst. See the nice one. So I've been complaining about like how you go for burst bait routes. It just gives up scenarios. We didn't extend there, but the asterisk here is that you continued your Oki.
Yeah, absolutely.
Continued your offensive pressure. You made that much more difficult for BRX to answer that.
For sure. Yeah, as long as you're confident, sometimes it's going to require that manual timing, but when you've done that route enough times, you can get it picked back up. Oh no, swung into the 2H. Didn't quite get the pickup though, even though he spent all that stamina.
Heavy butts. Don't you get out of that corner. Dire flat. Nice punish.
Into the Sacred Edge, maximizing that damage through the wall. Danny, 1 or 2 interactions away from closing things out here.
Slash. Let's go for a ride. Pretty close to corner jump back slash.
These IAD back JSs trying to potentially catch that Elk Hunt coming through. This is scary. Clean hit. Not quite going to make it to the wall, though.
All right, Danny believes. PRC side swap. Let me let you come down. There it is.
Really hairy situation there. Yeah, it was the Salty Boy walking through the back there. Going to be hosting the Beyblade tournament.
Oh.
I think is either tonight or like midday tomorrow. Super excited. Those side tournaments are always a blast if you're looking for some of those community events and stuff.
Salty Boy also hosting a steering wheel only tournament.
Oh yeah, the mystery bracket, steering wheel only random games. I'm here for that.
And it's not just, use the face buttons on the steering wheel. It is, you have to use the paddles and you have to use the pedals on the floor to try to control your characters.
I feel like quarter circle's got to be pretty easy though.
Well, here's the trick. So I learned that, it's not like turn and that's a swing. You have to make the full turn to the left to have a left input, the full turn to the right to have a right input. So
okay.
Salty definitely added a few extra tricks to that one. Out of the list,
nice.
I know the games that they're running, and out of the list, Tetris seems the easiest.
Sounds
so
about
far.
right.
But there is Guilty Gear in that bracket. There's going to be, there's KOF in there.
Oh, no.
Imagine trying to play KOF on a steering wheel. With the now knowing the restriction, it's a full steer for left and full steer for right.
I think what you got to do is you just find the forward button, go full forward, hit whatever your most messed up button is over and over again, and that's how you win. Sometimes that's how mystery brackets go at the end of the day.
So you think maybe the you hit the brake and then it does the down? So like, hold on, I got to hit the brakes and I'm down backing here.
Yep.
Oh, man. But I do have to hit the brakes on this block. Pariah, it's been excellent working with you on this one.
Been an awesome
There's
time.
still so
Thank
much more
you.
ahead of us here this weekend. Don't go away. We're going to get a little bit more of this Guilty Gear Strive action here at Texas Showdown 25. Be right back in just a moment.
We'll see you soon.